Hello and welcome into the RNGIDP channel. Welcome into another live stream game here on the RNGIDP Randomized Nuz League. This is game day 17. We are in the AL. This will be game day 5. It's the Detroit Toracats at 7-8, taking on the New York Yankees at 8-7. We've got Al Red Sox fan in the chat already. Happy that he's here and happy that you're watching, whether it's live or on tape or however you're doing it. I thank you for tuning in. I'm looking forward to tonight. It is Thursday night when I am broadcasting this. Thursday evening in the Mountain Time Zone. And I'm looking forward to this weekend. It's going to be a fun one. I will be attending the Play.con here in Denver, Colorado. So I'm looking forward to that. And I thought, I had some time tonight. I might as well fire up the old streamer machine and get this thing rolling again. Al Red Sox fan says it's Friday morning to you. Well, I guess on the East Coast it's just past midnight. And so good morning, Al, and good morning to all those past the date line. But yeah, as I was saying, tomorrow is the opening of Play.con. If you're unfamiliar, Play.com, Play.com, makes a version of card and dice baseball, and they make a bunch of other different sports. And I'm looking forward to getting my hands on mostly the Soccer Blast. I've been meaning to or wanting to play a Soccer Blast match, and I've never done it. And so I'm looking forward to learning that mechanic, interacting with some of the people that are there, Keith and Al and whoever else is going to show up. That'll be fun. So I will most likely either do video, or depending on how the internet is from the hotel, I may even live stream. So we'll see. We'll see how things shake out. Friday night, I don't plan on spending a whole lot of time there. I don't have a whole lot of time Friday night. I've got other plans. Saturday is when I'll spend most of the time at the convention. And then Saturday evening, the people from the convention are going to the Rockies game. So I will be accompanying them to the Rockies game, having a good time with some of the guys at the baseball game. And after a long day of playing card and dice. So Saturday is when most likely, if there is live streaming, which I most likely will, then it will be on that day. So stay tuned for that. Hit the bell if you want to know when I go live. And well, I guess it's down that way. And you'll be able to know when I'm live and get things going. All right, as for tonight, this should be a good game. Detroit and New York. We're picking back up in our randomized Nuz League, the RNL. If you're unfamiliar with what we do here, I have randomized the 2015 Strat-O-Matic card and dice set into just random teams. I've created a whole new world of my own. I've renamed all the teams. I have a 30 game day season, 28 games for each team, and we are over halfway there. We are in game day 17. We are almost done with game day 17. We've got tonight's game and then 2 more, and we are on to 18. So this should be fun. I haven't played in a while. The last time I played was on screen, so you'll have to excuse my rustiness as I get through this. But we'll try and make it fun. Al Red Sox fan is here. And on the mound will be Aaron Harang, the big guy that looks sleepy every time he's on the mound. Aaron Harang, for the season for New York, has an 0-2 record. He's pitched in 13 2/3 innings, 23 hits, 15 earned runs. That's not so good. 9 strikeouts as opposed to 4 walks. New York has 1 injury coming into the game. Their starting catcher, Mike Zunino, he's out for 8 games. So he will be replaced in the lineup. We'll get to him in a minute. Detroit, as far as their lineup concerned, let's take a look. They come in with 2 injuries to batters. Maikel Franco, their starting third baseman, and Jason Hayward are both out for the next few days. So this is how they will line up. Brandon Phillips will lead it off and play second base. Phillips is hitting .213 with a homer, 3 runs driven in. David Lau is the left fielder. He is hitting 182, so needs to get that average up. Carlos Gonzalez is the DH. Cargo hitting .300 with 5 homers and 12 ribbies. Both of those lead the squad. Adam Lind is the cleanup man, the lefty. He's playing first base, hitting .268. Only 1 homer, though. 8 runs driven in. This is normally where Hayward would bat. They're missing that, too. He's hitting .390, but he's on the shelf. Carlos Gomez is the center fielder. Gomez is 9 for 37 in his limited time. No homers, 3 runs batted in. Andrelton Simmons, the seems like perennial Gold Glove shortstop. He's 3 for 19. He's been splitting time with Jose Iglesias at short, but he's in there today. Ryan Flaherty is the third baseman today. He's 0 for 7 on the season, looking to get his first hit. Ezekiel Carrera is the right fielder. He's 5 for 24. He does have a homer, though. And rounding out the order is the catcher, Jared Saltalamacchia, the switch hitter. Saltalamacchia is hitting .225 in 40 at-bats. 3 homers, though, and 9 runs batted in. Al Red Sox fan is getting his popcorn ready. And I think we are ready for first pitch here on Play.con Eve. Yes, this is Play.con Eve, and looking forward to that. And if any of you are going, let me know in the comments. That'd be pretty cool. I'd love to meet you and hang out with you and chat with you. Let's get this thing underway. Aaron Harang will face Brandon Phillips. It's a 2-7. A 2-7 is a bouncer to the shortstop. Today, that is Pedro Siriaco. And that is 1 quick out. 6-3 on the scorebook. And we are underway here from New York as the Yankees face the Toracats. David Lau steps in against the right-hander. It's a 2-12, and that is a solid single ripped through the left field side of the bases. And Lau is aboard with a single. Ken Castro checking in. Hello, Ken. Saying, have fun at Play.con. Will I be seeing your face there, Ken? Hopefully you say yes. Carlos Gonzalez now with a runner at first. Cargo gets a pitch. It's hit pretty well. Will it get out to the gap or get up out? That's going to drop, but it's out into the corner, and Carlos Gonzalez, with his speed, is going to make it all the way to third. That's an RBI triple here in the first, as David Lau rounds third and comes home to score. Carlos Gonzalez driving home a run already, and we already have a 1-0 score. The DH doing what he came up to do. 1-0 Detroit off of Aaron Harang. And here we are, Adam Lind with a runner on third. The infield's going to come in. And Adam Lind against the righty. 3-7. That is a single ripped between the shortstop and third baseman. And that'll bring home the run. So Harang in trouble here early. 2 quick runs. And Detroit are on the board. Lind drives home the run. Ken Castro says, unfortunately not. Well, that's too bad. I know you're the jet setter, Ken Castro. You get out and about, and I thought of anybody that I see here on a regular basis. You might make the trip, but maybe next time, Ken. Someday I'll meet all you fellas. Aaron Harang pitching to the other Carlos Gomez. This is a 5-7. A 5-7, he's going to get a strikeout. That's a strikeout looking. So he needed that one. That is the first K of the day and the second out of the inning. Adam Lind still on first base. And that'll be left up to Andrelton Simmons. Hammer time, 10:31 says, glad you can get in a game. We'll have to watch later. Good night. Well, hey, thanks for checking in, Hammer time. We always have time for Hammer time. And Simmons gets the pitch. That's going to be a single. Aaron Harang just giving up hits here left and right. Adam Lind is a station-to-station runner. He will stop at second. With 2 outs, the 7th man to come to the plate is Ryan Flaherty. And he will get the pitch. It's a 3-9. A 3-9. Well, Harang will get out of this with another strikeout. So he ends up striking out 2 in the inning, but gives up a pair of runs. And Detroit jumps out early on New York, 2-0. Haven't even introduced the New York lineup yet, and Harang's already served up a pair of runs. Let's introduce the Detroit pitcher. That would be one C.J. Wilson, who comes out with a 2-run lead. C.J. Wilson on the season has pitched in 18 2/3 innings. He's got a 1-2 record. 18 hits given up in those 18 2/3 innings. 13 earned runs. That's a 6.29 ERA, a whip of 1.5. He struck out 17. That's a pretty good number, but he's also walked 10. So a lot of traffic for C.J. Wilson, and this one has all the markings of not staying 2-0 for the entirety of the game. Now let's take a look at the New York lineup. The New York Yankees will line up this way. Domingo Santana is the leadoff man in center field. He's hitting .234. He's got 5 doubles and 8 runs batted in. Alex Gordon in the 2 spot. Gordon has been hitting it well. His batting average is up to .338. He's got 8 home runs and 14 ribbies. 8 home runs. I can't remember. Is that one amongst the league leaders? Let me see here. That is the league leader. Okay. Well, Alex Gordon hitting 2 and the league leader in home runs. Danny Valencia is in the 3 spot. He's hitting .364 with 7 home runs and 13 runs driven in. So this New York squad can hit it. Chris Johnson is the cleanup man hitting in first base. Johnson is, let me find him on my list. Chris Johnson is 3 for 6 on the season with a homer. Dominic Brown hits behind him, the right fielder. He's hitting .372. Pedro Siriaco is the fill-in shortstop for today. Siriaco is hitting 9 for 34 with 4 runs batted in. Seth Smith is the DH. Smith is hitting .255 with a pair of homers. John Ryan Murphy is the catcher, and he's 1 for 8 on the season, filling in for Mike Zunino. And Taylor Featherston is the second baseman, rounds out the order. He's 3 for 7 with a double on the season. So it's a top-heavy lineup for New York, and they are ready to bat here, already down 2-0. Sounds like CJ should pitch for your 60 Red Sox, huh, Red Sox fan? Not having a good time, I guess, huh? Santana, he'll get a pitch here. This is a 6-6, and he will take it, and he's on board with the walk. So the leadoff man walks, and the tying run is already at the plate. And Alex Gordon, he's got the league lead in home runs. Will they put Santana in motion? He is a D stealer, so they're not doing that. They are going to hold him, though. It's a 3-6, and he walks Alex Gordon, too. So C.J. Wilson, not treating that lead the way you want to. He walks the first 2 in the game, and Danny Valencia will be up. And so it begins, says Al Red Sox fan. Yes, Danny Valencia, the third baseman. We'll see if he gets the pitch to hit here. It's a 1-10. That's a ground ball to second base. A ground ball C. The second baseman is Brandon Phillips. He's got a little trouble getting it out of his glove, and the only play for him is going to be at first. So Valencia will advance the runners to third and second, respectively, but he will make the first out. So Santana advances to third base, and Gordon will be on second. So runners in scoring position for Chris Johnson. And would they give Chris Johnson the free pass here to face the lefty Dominic Brown? They could go lefty on lefty Brown and just skip Johnson. I think they will do that. They're going to pull out the intentional walk in the first inning. A little unorthodox, but they got to do what they got to do. When you walk the first two batters of the game, that's how it goes. And so Dominic Brown now will come up with the bases loaded. Lefty on lefty here against C.J. Wilson. It's a 1-6. A 1-6 is a ground ball to the pitcher. A B. Let's see. I can't remember what all these do. So runners are forced. Runner on first is out. Batter is safe. Well, that was. So they tried to get the. They tried to go for the double play, and Dominic Brown, with his good speed, will beat it out at first, and so the run will score from third. So Santana scores from third on a ground out from Dominic Brown. He gets a ribby, and the fielder's choice gets Johnson at second for the second out. But Brown will be at first with a fielder's choice. That's a fielder's choice. All right, so Brown is aboard. You got runners at first and third. Gordon scoots over to third. That was a 4-6. Okay. I got to remember how to do all this stuff. You know, you don't use it for a couple months and you lose it. All right, so the bases got runners at the corners. Siriaco to face C.J. Wilson. One run is home. It's a 2-1 ball game here in New York in the bottom of the first. This is a 4-7. A 4-7 is a fly ball, lazy fly ball out to center field. This will get him out of trouble. Gomez is camped under it, and that will be the third out. So New York claws one back, and they will trail going into the top of the second. It's a 2-1 ball game here on the RNGIDP channel. Aaron Harang looks battered and beaten, but that's always kind of how he looks. And he will face the 8, 9, and 1 batters of Carreras, Salt-O-Matic, and Phillips. Here it's a 2-6, and that's, guess what? It's a single. Carrera leads off the second inning with a solid single, and he is a D-stealer. He takes a lead. Let's take a look at the catcher, John Ryan Murphy. He's got an arm of 0, so even though he's a D-stealer, he's going to have to hold him. He's not going anywhere. Salt-O-Matic gets the pitch. It's a 6-8, and that's a ground ball second base X chance. The second baseman is Taylor Featherston. He is a 2-range second baseman. A 2 second baseman, a 2-9 is going to his E rating. It's an E13. And we rolled a 6. E13, we rolled a 6. That's a ground ball A. So Salt-O-Matic bounces it to Featherston. He makes a nice play on a difficult hop, and he will get the double play started. That's a 4-6-3 twin killing. Featherston to, who's the shortstop? Siriaco to Johnson. So the leadoff single is erased, and Aaron Harang will now go back to the top of the order and face Brandon Phillips. Sorry, y'all Red Sox fans. Salt-O-Matic disappointed you there. Phillips, He grounded out to shortstop his first time. This time, he will pop it up right to the shortstop. And the shortstop, Siriaco, will put him out again. And that'll be the end of it. Turns out to be a 1-2-3 inning. And Harang gets out of the second. It's still a 2-1 ball game. So it'll go back over to C.J. Wilson. Wilson will face Smith, Murphy, and Featherston. It's the 7, 8, 9 batters. And the lefty will face the lefty. It's a 4-5. A 4-5 is a ground ball, shortstop X. That's not a good place to hit it if you are a New York fan, as Simmons is a stellar defender. A shortstop 1. A 1-4 is going to be a nice play. Simmons makes it look easy, gliding to his right, and he fires a dart to first for the first out. John Ryan Murphy gets his first at bat of the game. He comes up, sees the pitch. It's a 3-10. A 3-10, that's a single up the middle. C.J. Wilson had to get out of the way of that one. Almost took his head off as John Ryan Murphy trots down to first with a single. Taylor Featherston now. John Ryan Murphy is not a fast runner, so he's sticking close to the bag. And that one is hit to Simmons. Simmons swiftly picks it up. He will start the double play. It's going to be an unassisted 6-3 double play. He touches the bag and tosses it over. And that will do it here in the bottom of the second. Things have calmed down quite a bit as we have a scoreless second inning. We move to the top of the third. So tomorrow at the play.con, they're going to have a lot of tournaments, a lot of individual play. I'm looking forward to, I don't know if I want to play in the tournaments or if I just want to, of course I want to play some of the games, and I'm going to play some of the games, but I've never played any of the play games, so I don't know if I should join the tournaments or if I should just take somebody aside and say, hey, could you teach me how to do this stuff? Or if I should just watch and observe until I've figured out how to play it. I don't know. What do you guys think? While we think about it, David Lau is going to lead off the top of the third. And this is a 3-8. That is a bouncer to the third baseman, Valencia, who has no problem picking that one. Takes a few strides over towards first and fires it in time to get Lau and the first out. Carlos Gonzalez now steps in. He had an RBI triple in the first. Drove home the first run of the day. And this is a 3-6. He's going to be aboard again with a little looping single out in front of the left fielder, Alex Gordon. And so Cargo is aboard for the second time. Al Red Sox fan says, I should ask questions. I'm sure they'd love to teach me about the game. Yeah, I have no doubt they will, or they would. I'm sure that, when you get 30, 50, however many people are going to be there, people together, I'm sure they're going to have your mix of people that are, not as friendly as others, but I'm sure there will be plenty that are. And in this community, it seems like we're all pretty friendly. It's a 1-9 for Adam Lind. That's a ground ball over to second. Again, the second baseman. This time it's Featherston. He has a trouble getting that ball off the ground and into his glove. The only play is going to be at first, and so Adam Lind is out. But the double play is out of order as Cargo makes it over to second. So 2 outs now, and it'll be up to Carlos Gomez. Carlos Gomez struck out looking his first time. This is a 4-9. He doesn't strike out looking this time. Is he in normal power? He is. That one is hit deep, a 1-17, and it'll be way gone. It's a 15, so it is up and out of here. Carlos drives in Carlos. That is a home run. off of Aaron Harang. A 2-run shot for Carlos Gomez. And Detroit gets that run back and adds an extra one to it as well. They go up 4-1 on the 2-run shot from Carlos Gomez. So Harang had a good second inning, didn't give up any runs, but here in the third, he's tagged for another 2. He'll face Simmons now this time. It's a 5-8, and this is going to be a hit out into the gap. That one's going to roll around, and the right fielder has problems. Dominic Brown, he can't pick it up, and Simmons just keeps on going. That's going to be a triple. So another triple, as Carlos Gonzalez had one in the first. Simmons, with 2 outs, hits a triple after a home run from Carlos Gomez. And now Harang is in some trouble. You got Ryan Flaherty, lefty, up against Harang here. It's a 2-6, a 2-6. Flaherty swings over the top of it, and he strikes out again. That will end the inning, but not before Detroit picks up 2 more, and they are making this thing, stretching this thing out a little bit. 4-1 now here as we move to the bottom of the third. So New York's got some work to do again, and they'll have the top of their order to do it with. And C.J. Wilson, his first time up through the lineup, he only gave up 1 hit. So gonna have to do some work here in New York, and it will be Domingo Santana to start us off, and it's a 6-8. That is a ballpark home run chance for Santana here in New York. That is he's a righty, a 1-16 roll, and it'll be a home run. That'll get it started. It is an 11, so it is up and out of here. Adios, baseball. A leadoff home run in the bottom of the third for Domingo Santana. So he's done his part. He's been on base twice and scored twice. This time he plates himself. And Alex Gordon now. This is the heart of the order for New York. Gordon leads the league in homers. It's a 4-2 ball game. And this is a 1-8. That one is hit well out to center field. Carlos Gomez goes back, and he will make a running grab at the track. That is a loud out for Alex Gordon as he puts a charge into one. Just couldn't get it up and out. So C.J. Wilson not fooling anybody here in the third. And this will be Danny Valencia's turn. And Valencia stays patient. He draws a walk. Wilson, I don't think, wanted any part of Valencia, as those were 4 straight bad pitches. Maybe those 2 hard-hit balls got into his head, and he will face Chris Johnson now. Johnson was intentionally walked back in the first, and here's the pitch. It's a 2-12, a line out to shortstop Max. So lines it to Simmons, who steps on who throws it over to first. That is a line out 6 double play, as Valencia is caught off of Johnson smashed that one, as has everybody, but probably hit it too hard, as Valencia had no chance to get back to the base, and he is caught off. So Johnson hit it hard, but has nothing to show for it other than 2 outs. And this wild third inning comes to an end, and it is a 4-2 ball game. So Wilson got lucky to get out of the inning, and now Aaron Harang will make his way back out there. He's going to face the 8-9-1 batters, but you got to wonder how much of a leash he has, as this one hasn't gotten out of hand yet. New York still has a chance. We'll see how long they keep Harang out there. Carrera, he hits one out to center. This is going to be a lazy fly ball to Santana. No problem there. 1 quick out. Strat-O-Matic. I like saying his name. And this is a 5. That was a 5, I promise. A 5-7, and he draws a walk. So Salty, he hit into a double play his first time, but he draws the walk and trots down to first with 1 out here in the top of the 4th in New York. New York, they're 8-7 right now. They sit in 8th place, about halfway up the chart in the AL at 8-7. They're 3 games back of the leader, Texas. Meanwhile, Detroit sits 2 spots behind them in 10th, 7-8. Detroit's run differential is way better than everybody else around them. They're 16 plus 16 in the run differential. They've gotten unlucky in a few games. They sit 4 games back. Brandon Phillips now with the runner on second. Excuse me, runner on first. He was walked. This is a 2-4. Brandon Phillips puts a charge into this one. It's a 1-10 home run. It's a 17. That's going to be a double. Will they send Strat-O-Matic? No, they won't. Not with 1 out here. Strat-O-Matic will stay at third as Brandon Phillips doubles on Aaron Harang. So runners at second and third, 1 out. And David Lau now. Lau is 1 for 2 with a single in the first. The catcher goes out to talk to Harang, as let's take a look at what New York has in the bullpen. The long reliever, they don't really have a long reliever. They could go get Michael Blazek or Gott, even Ardsma. Ardsma is going to get warming. But they're going to let him pitch to David Lau. Infield is in with 1 out. And it's a 6-6. That is a 1-5 single chance. And it's a 20. That one is hit well, but at the second baseman, Featherston, who makes a nice snag out of the air. And that will be the second out. So can Aaron Harang wiggle off of this one, as he has Carlos Gonzalez at the plate? What I think they're going to do here is I think they're going to walk Cargo. Intentionally walk Cargo. He's gotten the best of him so far, and with the base open, might as well. Cargo has singled and tripled against Harang, and Adam Lynn will face Aaron Harang. Bases loaded, 2 outs, top of the 4th here. It's a 4-2 ball game. It's a, oh no, this one is right in Lynn's wheelhouse. That one is a single to left field. A single will drive home Strat-O-Matic. And Phillips is pretty fast. Will he get the sign to go? We'll have to take a look here. Phillips, they were not holding him on. He's a 1-15 runner. 1-15. Let's see. How do we advance here? That was hit to left field. The left fielder is Alex Gordon with a -4 arm. So this one could be close. A -4 arm. So it's 1-15. -4 is 11. He was not being held, so it's a 12. There's 2 outs. It's 1-14. He's going to go. Brandon Phillips is rounding third. He's got the stop sign, but he's running through it. Alex Gordon with the throw. It's a 1-19. They're not going to get Phillips. He will come around and score. And so 2 runs come home on the single from Adam Lind. 3 ribbies on the day for him. And that will be enough to chase Aaron Harang. His day will come to an end after giving up a 2-run single to Adam Lind here in the 4th. MP Fox, hey, just checking in. I don't know that I've seen you around here. Welcome. And if I have, it's been a long time. I'm sorry. Checking in. Great stuff. Go with a nice dinger. Yeah, he did. So we will go to the bullpen. And I believe it, who did I say? Aaron Harang, right? Let's go get the long reliever Aaron Harang. No, not Aaron Harang. David Ardsma. Aaron Harang was out there. Aaron Harang goes and hits the showers. He got beat up a little bit today. So David Ardsma will come in, the righty. Harang, he went, let's see here, 3 2/3 innings. Gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Ooh, 10 hits. He struck out 3. He walked a bunch, I think. 1, 2, only 2. Oh, I was thinking of Wilson. And then walked 2, I guess. But his day is over. He's still responsible for Lind at first and Gonzalez at second. His day is over, and Ardsma takes over. 2 outs here in the top of the 4th. And this is a 1-7. A 1-7. This one has a chance for a double. Gomez, will he drive in some more? A 1-7 is a double. So Gomez will drive home Gonzalez. And he's got himself another RBI. Lind will stay at third on the RBI double from Carlos Gomez. So this one is getting a little bit out of hand as Gomez has himself the 3rd RBI in the day, and now Detroit leads it 7-2. Lind and Gomez doing the damage. The 4 and 5 hitters both have 3 ribbies on the day. MP Fox says Dice Tower Convention was last week. I wish I could have gone to that one too. I am a big board gamer, MP Fox. It sounds like you are as well, so I wish I could have been there. And Drelton Simmons now with runners at second and third. Ardsma in relief of Aaron Harang. And already given up a hit. This is a 2-9. This will get him out of the inning as this one is hit to the shortstop, Siriaco, who fires across the diamond. And that will be the 3rd out. So that will end the top of the 4th. But not before Detroit plates 3 more. And they lead it 7-2. The book is on Harang. He gave up 7 runs. All of them were earned. So rough go for him. And New York, they'll look to keep fighting back against C.J. Wilson. So Dominic Brown will lead off here for New York against C.J. Wilson. It's a 5-4. 5-4 is a ground ball to third base. That's Ryan Flaherty country. He is a utility infielder, and his third base rating is 3. So 3-5 is a ground ball C. Just barely gets into the glove of Flaherty, who kind of looks surprised, actually. And he looks at his glove, finds the ball in there, and throws it hurriedly over to first with the Speedy Brown barreling down the line. And that'll be the first out. MP Fox says he'll be at Dice Tower next year, Tuesday through Sunday. Would love to get together. Yeah, that'd be great. Yeah, that's cool. MP Fox, thanks for checking in. Cool to see a new face, and happy that we have some similar interests. And he says he wishes my score sheets were half as clean as yours. Well, even looking at mine, I'm like, man, I wish mine were cleaner. I've seen people on Twitter or all over the place, and I'm envious of theirs as well. So the grass is always greener, MP, as long as you can read your own. Out Red Sox fan it's the 4th inning. Did you have Out Red Sox fan going to bed in the 4th inning? Well, cash your ticket at the window and claim your winnings. Pedro Siriaco now with 1 out, the shortstop. It's a 5-3. This one is a ground ball pitcher's X. The pitcher, C.J. Wilson, is a 2-range. He's a 2-range pitcher. 210 is going to the E rating, which is a 22. So we rolled a 7. We rolled average. So E22 and rolled a 7. That's going to be an error as C.J. Wilson picks it up and throws to who knows who, way past the first baseman. So Siriaco is aboard on the E1. The first baseman, Adam Lind, just kind of stares at Wilson like, where were you throwing that, bud? And goes and chases down the ball. Keeps Siriaco at first. So Seth Smith now, he bounced out to the shortstop his first time. And let's see, it's a 2-6. Not this time. He gets a hold of one. That's a 2-6, which is a 1-5 home run chance. And that's going to be a double out to the gap. Will Siriaco get the go? They are down by a few runs, so they are not going to send Siriaco. Well, actually, he's a 1-15 runner. That's why I thought twice. I knew he was fast. So that was hit out into center field. Gomez is a -2 arm. So 15 -2. It's a 13. Was he held? Yeah, he was held. That's a 12. So 1-12. Will they send Siriaco? No, they're not going to do it. They're not going to do it. They're down by a lot of runs, so they put the stop sign up. Siriaco was halfway down the line before the tentative third base coach puts up the stop sign, and Siriaco kind of hits the deck and then scrambles back to third. But it'll be up to John Ryan Murphy to try and bring these runs home and make up for that call. We'll see if he can do it. It's a 1-3. A 1-3 is a ballpark single chance. Here in New York, that is a 1-4 roll. It is a 4, and that will drive in at least one as Siriaco scampers home on a single. Just so you know, I wasn't lying. On a single from John Ryan Murphy, he'll score. And let's take a look after I fill this in. Seth Smith moves to third. I don't think Seth Smith is very quick. Nah, he's a 1-11, so he's not going anywhere. But New York gets a run home from an RBI single from John Ryan Murphy. And now it moves down the line here to Taylor Featherston. That's an under run for C.J. Wilson. So, runners at first and second. Featherston up, 1 out. Got a run home here for New York in the bottom of the 4th, trailing 7-3 now. And Featherston, it's a fly ball to right field B. This might be deep enough to send the runner home, and it will, as Seth Smith, he tags and he'll make it easily. That's going to be a sac fly from Featherston out to right field. So that's a nice sac fly, deep enough, and that's another run home. New York, they don't have to get them all home right away. They just got to keep scratching. And with 2 outs now, it'll be the top of the order, Domingo Santana, who homered his last time up off of C.J. Wilson. Santana's been on twice. He walked and homered. Runner on first is John Ryan Murphy. And it's a 2-3, and Santana is aboard again with a walk. So Wilson not really wanting to deal with Santana right now. And so we got runners at first and second. And the home run leader in the AL, Alex Gordon, coming up to the plate. Lefty on lefty here for Wilson with 2 outs. It's a 6-8. That is a ground ball second base X. The second baseman is Brandon Phillips. Let's see if he can make a play. He's a 1-range second baseman, so most likely. And that's a GBA. So Brandon Phillips glides, looking effortless as he goes into the hole and grabs that ball, and he will get Alex Gordon for the last out of the fourth. But New York scores a pair, and they cut the lead from 7-2 to 7-4. So still within striking distance are New York. As I was given the lineups, New York, they can hit it. New York has scored 70 runs so far this season. The only teams that have scored more runs are way ahead of them in the standings. Texas, obviously, number 1 in the standings with 86. Number 2, Boston. They can hit the tar out of it. They're 92 runs scored. Then Toronto at 4 with 72. Oakland at 6 with 72. And New York with 70 in the 8th spot. So they can hit it. Pitching's been the problem, as we saw here tonight. We move to the 5th, and it'll be Ryan Flaherty to lead it off against David Aardsma. It's a 4-12. Flaherty hits one off the end of the bat and towards the second baseman, Featherston. And that'll be an easy play for the first out. Ezekiel Carrera now. Carrera is 1 for 2. He singled his first time up. He flew out to center field this next time. And against Aardsma, it's a single up the middle. Carrera is aboard again. The bottom of the lineup, he's 2 for 3. So now you got Strat-O-Matic aboard, or excuse me, up to base, up to bat. He grounded into a double play his first time, and he walked. This time, it's a 3-9. He gets a hold of this one, a 1-15, and this baby is out of here. It's a 19, so that's going to be a double. Carrera is pretty speedy. So the beat goes on. Will they send Carrera from first? They just might. He's pretty fast. A 1-14. This was hit to center field. Let's take a look at the arm of Santana. It's a 0. So they might. A 14 minus 0. They were holding him, so it's a 13. A 1-13. They're sending him. Carrera rounds third. And it is a 13. He comes around to score. And Carrera scores from first on the double from Strat-O-Matic. Being aggressive on the Bates pass, unlike New York, and it pays off here. As now it's an 8-4 ball game. Brandon Phillips now with a runner at second. It's a 2-4. And Brandon Phillips gets a hold of this one. It is up and out of here. A home run. It was a 1-10 home run chance. We rolled a 2. And that is a 2-run bomb for Brandon Phillips. So this Detroit team brought their bats with them today, and they have not stopped hitting. Strat-O-Matic comes around from second to score, and they have put up 10 on New York. Detroit leads it 10-4, good buddy. As Aardsma is getting beat up here a little bit, maybe we need to go back to the bullpen. Let's see. New York, they will go to the bullpen and get Dan Otero, as Aardsma has a rough outing. They will go get him and bring out Dan Otero. Aardsma, he went 2/3 of an inning. Not very good. Got the third out in the third inning, or excuse me, in the fourth inning, and only has one out here in the fifth. He gave up 4 hits. Eesh. 4 hits, 3 runs, all of them earned. He didn't strike out anybody, and he didn't walk anybody. A rough going for Aardsma. And now Otero will come in and try and stop some of the bleeding. New York's not out of it yet. Al Red Sox fan. He thought he was going to bed, but he just couldn't. He couldn't pass up a Strat-O-Matic at bat. And David Lau now against the new pitcher, Dan Otero. This one is hit back to the pitcher. Will he be able to make the play? It's a 3-range pitcher. On a 10, that's going to be an E. He's an E of 0. So Otero, he will fill this position, and he will make a play. That's a 1-3. And that's a second out here in the 5th inning. Some Bronx jeers from the New York fans. As doesn't seem like anybody can get an out. And now Carlos Gonzalez, who's been on base 3 times and scored 3 times, will face the righty Otero. And this one isn't even a roll. It's a straight home run deep into the night. Carlos Gonzalez sends that one out. A solo shot, a home run for Carlos Gonzalez. And as I'm writing this down, I notice he tripled in his first at-bat. He singled in his next. He intentionally walked his last at-bat. And now he's got a homer. So all Cargo needs is a double for a cycle. So his next at-bat, we're going to have to pay special attention to that. But it's Adam Lind, and this is a 3-10. Oh boy, this is a ballpark home run chance for the lefty. That's a 1-16. That is a 2. So that is up and away. Adam Lind and Cargo go back to back. And Detroit, what has gotten into them, man? They are just pounding the New York pitching, and that's 4 runs for 4 runs batted in for Adam Lind. Crazy. Now it's Carlos Gomez. MP Fox, you must be a Carlos Gomez fan. And I'm guessing you're a Houston fan? No, I don't know. In 2015, he was on Houston. See, I'm a Rockies fan, so Carlos Gonzalez doing this makes me happy. Carlos Gomez, though, he's got a homer and a double. And here he is against Otero. And it's a 4-8. There's a single. So Gomez is a triple away from a cycle himself. He's a Tampa fan and a Twins fan. Interesting. I don't know that I would have ever put those two combinations together, but cool. I have a friend that lives in Tampa, and my brother spends a lot of time in Tampa. He's a, I don't know if you would say a Rays fan, but a Rays follower? I don't know about follower. A Rays checks the box score guy every once in a while. How about that? All right, Simmons, he's been on board twice. They've got 2 outs here. Otero's going to have to wear one here a little bit. And Simmons, that's a ballpark home run chance. He's a weak hitter, though. And let's take a look. That will be a single 2-star, as it would have been a 1-16 home run chance. That would have been a homer. So it'll be a single 2-star as Andrelton Simmons keeps this party going, and Gomez will reach third. And now I feel somewhat bad for the New York pitching because they just can't get anybody out. You got runners at the corners, and Ryan Flaherty is up. Flaherty is, I think, the only one in the Detroit lineup. He is the only one in the Detroit lineup without a hit. And here we go. Flaherty, will he get a hit? That is a, oh no. Let's see here. That is a strikeout. So yes, that is a strikeout. Strikeout looking, his 3rd one on the day, as Ryan Flaherty, he's been the fire extinguisher for this Detroit team, as he has ended an inning 3 times now. And this one ends, but only after Detroit puts up a 5 spot. And that is 12-4 now. Well, that makes sense, MP. 31 years in Minnesota and 20 in St. Petersburg. So, I can see how that would happen. You got tired of the snow, I guess, in Minnesota, so you moved to Florida. Is that how it went? Here in Denver, we get snow and we get 100 degrees. C.J. Wilson. He will face the 3-4-5 batters in New York, Valencia, Johnson, and Brown. It's a 4-7. A 4-7 is lifted out to center field. The center fielder Gomez, MP Fox's guy, he takes a few steps towards his right, and he'll make the catch for 1 out. So Chris Johnson, he was intentionally walked. Yeah, intentionally walked back in the first. And then hit into a double play. Here he is to face Wilson for the 3rd time. And that's a 4-5. A 4-5. This is hit to the shortstop, Simmons. Simmons is a 1-range shortstop, a 1-8. That's going to his E rating. So will he be able to make the play? He's an E8. E8, and we rolled a 7. And that is going to be a GBA. So Simmons makes a tough play off of a weird hop in the infield, but has plenty of time to correct his feet, make a strong throw over to Johnson, and there's 2 away. So Wilson calming down here a little bit after giving up 2 runs in the last inning. He's got 2 quick outs, and now Dominic Brown is up. It's a 4-10, and that one is a looping fly ball out to right field. And the right fielder Carrera makes a sliding grab. That will be the 3rd out. And this one is in the books through the 5th. It's a 12-4 ball game. So, Otero will not make it back out for the next inning. They're going back to the bullpen. And this time it will be Trevor Gott. So another pig to the slaughter, as Trevor Gott will come out and spring Otero. And we'll get the numbers on Otero in a minute, but Trevor Gott comes out. Otero, he went 2/3 of an inning, and he gave up 4 hits. Ouch, just like Ardsma. 2 runs for him, 1 strikeout, and walks. So Ardsma and Otero both went 2/3 of an inning. Ardsma gave up 3 runs, Otero gave up 2. Will it fare any better for Trevor Gott as he faces the 8, 9, and 1 batters of Carrera, Saltalamacchia, and Phillips? And let's see, it's a 1-9, and he starts it off with a walk. So Carrera is on board for the 3rd time tonight. And now it's up to Saltalamacchia. The switch hitter faces Gott. It's a 4-6. That's a fly ball out to right. Dominic Brown is camped underneath it, and that'll be the 1st out. So we're back to the top of the order, and Brandon Phillips, yeah, we're already at the top of the order. Seems like Phillips was just up and hit a homer. He's got a homer and a double in 4 trips. This is a 1-6, and now he's got himself a single. So Phillips is 2/3 of the way to a cycle as well. Carrera, he'll stop at 2nd. So you got runners at 1st and 2nd, and David Lau up against Trevor Gott. It's a 5-8. That's a ground ball second base X chance. The second baseman is Featherston. Can he get an out? Can he turn 2 here? They haven't had a scoreless inning since the 2nd. Can he turn 2? Featherston is a 2-range second baseman. A 2-13 is a ground ball B, which The batters, that's a fielder's choice, so they tried to get 2. The batter is safe and beats it out, so Phillips is out at second on the fielder's choice, 4-6. That's the second out, and Lau will make it to first. So Carrera scoots over to third, and now we got runners on the corners with 2 outs. And Carlos Gonzalez up to the plate. Gonzalez is 3 for 3, a triple, a single, and a home run. Here he is to face Trevor Gott. A 3-4 is, oh, it's a bouncer to shortstop. The shortstop Siriaco is up with it, and he will make the play. I sound disappointed because I was rooting for Carlos Gonzalez there to get a double. And actually on the 3 column, there's not even any doubles there. So it wasn't going to happen. Wasn't meant to be in that one. But he may get another at-bat before the end of the game. We are on cycle watch for 3 different people now. Gonzalez, Gomez, and Phillips. But Detroit puts a 0 on the board. And the first one since the second. Now, C.J. Wilson, he'll come back out for the 6th. He's given up 4 runs, but he's gotten the last 4. We'll see how long he stays out there. Siriaco is the first man up to the plate, and he swings and misses. That's a strikeout. I don't think that C.J. Wilson has a strikeout yet today. That is strikeout number 1, and it comes with the first out in the bottom of the 6th. So Wilson has been at best by keeping pitches in the zone, having batters make contact, and relying on his defense. Seth Smith has put one in play with a double in 2 trips. And here he is against the lefty. It's a 1-11. That one is put in play, but he's going to ground out to Simmons. And he'll make the throw across the diamond. There's 2 outs. Now it's John Ryan Murphy. He's 2 for 2 with 2 singles. Has yet to score, though. And it's a 2-5. And he swings and misses. C.J. Wilson with a clean 1-2-3 inning with 2 strikeouts. What got into C.J. Wilson here? He can feel the W going into his W column. And he pitches a clean 6th. Speaking of clean innings, Trevor Gott did pretty well. So he will come back out. And by pretty well, he had 3 runners on base, but none of them scored. So he'll face Adam Lind. Lind is 3 for 4 with 2 singles and a homer. And it's a 4-7. And that's a called third strike. Trevor Gott, I think he's getting a little bit of the benefit of the doubt. The umpire he's ready to hit the showers. He expanded the strike zone just a little bit for that one. But now Carlos Gomez is up to the plate. And it is, and B. Fox beat me to it, it's time for a triple. Here we go. Trevor Gott on the mound. The pitch, it is delivered. It's a 5, a 6-5, and oh boy, a 1-8, and it will be a triple. For history's sake, we have never had a triple in this series on the channel. And that is a single. The center fielder, that is Santana, cuts it off before it gets to the wall. And Gomez, he thought about it. He was halfway, maybe even more than halfway on his way to second. But he will stop at first with a single. And claps his hands a couple times. He really wanted to go for it, but Santana gives him a wink from the outfield as he knew what it was going on, and fires it back in. So Gomez, he has his 4th hit of the day, but not the one he wanted, as he is aboard with a single. And now Simmons It's a 1-11, or excuse me, 1-11. That one is hit to second base. Featherston has to go a long way for it. There's not going to be a play at second. His only play is at first, and it was close as Simmons was busting it down the line. Even with a big lead, he was. And Gomez makes it to second. So runner on second. MP Fox, he probably will get another at bat, so we'll see. Ryan Flaherty now, will he be the fire extinguisher again? It's a 4-6. Yes, he will, as he flies out to right field, and that will be the third out. I don't know that I've seen that. Flaherty now has made the last out 4 times out of his 5 at-bats. But that's back-to-back zeros for the New York pitching as we have reached the stretch. This one is all but over. The fat lady has not sung yet, and I believe we're going to go to the bullpen for Detroit. C.J. Wilson has done his job, so they will go to the bullpen, and it will be Chris Bassett, a long reliever, coming in. Has not worked a whole lot, so Chris Bassett getting some mop-up here. Bassett has, well, I guess he's got 6 innings, 6 2/3 innings. He's only given up 2 hits. So Bassett will work here in the bottom of the 7th. As C.J. Wilson's work is done, and they turn it over to the bullpen. So the righty, Chris Bassett, comes on. 2 S's and 2 T's. Wilson, he went 6 innings. He gave up 1, 2, 3, 4, only 4 hits. He was on a roll. He gave up 4 runs. Only 3 of them were earned. He struck out 2. Only 2 batters. He did walk a bunch, though. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 walks. So his walk numbers were high coming into this game, but they're going to be even higher now. Chris Bassett, though, is ready to go, and he will face the 9-1-2 batters of Taylor, Featherston, Santana, and Gordon. It's a 6-9, and the first man will get a called third strike. That is the first strikeout for Bassett, and 1 out here in the bottom of the 7th. Domingo Santana now. Santana been aboard 3 times, 2 walks and a homer. This is a 5, and he will strike out looking. So Bassett not messing around here. And 2 quickly down for Alex Gordon. Gordon 0 for 2 today with the walk. It's a 2-8, and that one is hit well out to left field. Down the line, Lau is tracking it, and he will make the grab. The first 1, 2, 3 inning for Bassett. Excuse me. And we are done with the 7th. 3 straight zeros for New York. And they will... We take it to the top of the 8th as the 8, 9, and 1 batters will come to the plate. It will be Trevor Gott again. Actually, will it? He has pitched 2 innings. So, yeah, we'll go get him. I don't want to leave him out there too much. So, Gott did his job. Now we'll go get Brian Morris. So, Carrera will face a new pitcher, and it will be Brian Morris, the righty. Gott, he went 2 innings. Really was New York's best pitcher today. Let's see, 1, 2. He gave up 2 hits, no runs. He struck out. He struck out 1, and he walked 1. All right, so Brian Morse is the new pitcher, and Carrera greets him with a 2-4, and that's a chopper to second. No problem for Featherston, who's fielded his position well today. Not normally at second base, but he makes the play over to first and 1 away. Now it's Strat-O-Matic, the switch hitting catcher. And that is a called third strike. This umpire is giving away strikes right now. And Morris, he gives the umpire a little tip of the hat. Thanks for that. And Brandon Phillips is up. This is his 6th plate appearance. He's had hits in his last 3 appearances. A double, a homer, and a single. Looking for that triple. We'll see if he can do it. It's a 3-6. That one is hit out to the outfield, but the center fielder, Santana, tracks it down. Santana is going to prevent a cycle one way or the other. And that is the end of the top of the 8th. Scoreless 8th for Detroit, as they are in command. It is 12-4. So Morris had a quick inning there. And it will go back to Bassett. Bassett had a 1-2-3 inning in the 7th, struck out a pair. He will continue to face Valencia, Johnson, and Brown. That is not a law firm. And he's going to strike out Valencia looking. So I want to say that Bassett is doing a good job, but this umpire, this strike zone is twice as big as it usually is. Chris Johnson now against Bassett, and that'll break it up. That's a single out to left field. Dribbles one through the left side of the infield. And now Dominic Brown. Brown is 0 for 3 today. Reached on a fielder's choice in his first at-bat. And that's a 5-12. That one is hit back to the pitcher. Chris Bassett didn't look ready for it. He's a 4-range pitcher. A 4.6 is going to his E rating, which is a 17. We rolled a 12, which is an error. So he didn't look comfortable from the start, as Bassett, he kind of booted it and kicked it and tried to pick it up and dropped it. But it turns out to be an E1. And so now 2 runners aboard, as Brown makes it to first. And Bassett on the hook for an error there. That's the second error of the game. 1 on Wilson and 1 on Bassett. And now it's Siriaco at the plate. Will they let him hit? They don't have any others. Well, they have a Hidre Adrianza, a switch hitter. Nah, they're going to let Siriaco hit. That's a 3-5. That's a strikeout. So Bassett already has 4 strikeouts. And now there's 2 outs here in the bottom of the 8th. And Seth Smith will be the batter. He's doubled today in 3 attempts. That's a 2-10. That is going to be a hit. A 1-12. It's a triple. And it is a triple out into the gap. That's what they were looking for on the Detroit side, to try and get a cycle. But Seth Smith gets one, and he'll drive home a pair, as Brown scores from first and Johnson will score from second. That is a 2 RBI triple for the DH, Seth Smith. One of those was earned. The Brown one was unearned. Just talking to myself to keep it straight. Okay, so Seth Smith triples in a run. Chris Bassett had been working pretty clean, but the error on himself kind of extended the inning. And here he'll face John Ryan Murphy. It's a 6-9, and that'll get him out of it with another strikeout. This one will be looking 5 Ks for Bassett in his short time, and that'll end the threat there in the 8th. Not that it was much of one, but they did score a pair. as we move to the top of the ninth. Detroit leads New York. What is it? 12-6. They doubled them up. So Brian Morris will continue, and he will face Lau, Gonzalez, and Lind. Or will he? Will they go to a lefty? Well, in fact, New York has no lefties other than their closer, and they're not going to bring him in. So they will continue here with Morris. And Lau greets him with a dribbler to second. Featherston is up with it, and that'll be an easy play for the first out here in the top of the ninth. And Carlos Gonzalez still looking for that triple. Are there even any on his card? Not from the right-hand pitchings. Well, there's one. A 2-5, and then he'd have to roll a 1. That's not great. And there's none against, well, there is against left-handed batters. Actually, a pretty good chance there. If we roll a 5 and a 9, a 5-9 would do it. This is a 5-4. That's a catcher X. And the catcher is John Ryan Murphy, who is a catcher 3. So a 3, we rolled a 6. That's a wild pitch and a pop-up. So the wild pitch is nothing. But Carlos Gonzalez trying a little too hard. Pops it up right in front of the plate. And John Ryan Murphy will make the grab for the second out. And now Adam Lind trying to extend the inning to get Carlos Gomez one more chance at that cycle. Lind himself has got 3 hits. See if he can get another one here. It's a 3-7. That is going to be a hit. A single through the left field side. So Gomez will get a chance here. Carlos Gomez getting a chance at a triple. We'll see if he can do it. Brian Morris, he knows the stakes. This is a 6-9, a 6-9, and that's not a 6-9 at all. That's a 6-8. A 6-8 is a single 2-star. So it's not the triple that MP Fox, or for me that matter, really wanted. I wanted to get a cycle on the channel, but it will be a single, and that is the 5th hit in a row for Carlos Gomez. He is 5 for 6 today. So Andrelton Simmons comes up. Adam Lind, he stayed at third. And Simmons comes up. He's got 3 hits on the day. He will draw a walk. So just trying to get through the inning. Brian Morris just trying to get him out of it. So he loads the bases with a walk. And now the fire extinguisher himself, Ryan Flaherty. In fact, should we pinch hit for Ryan Flaherty? What is he, the third baseman? Well, I can't, because I don't have any other third baseman. Unless, nope. So we can't even pinch hit. So the fire extinguisher himself, Ryan Flaherty, is up. And he does it again as he dribbles one harmlessly over to Featherston. And that will end the inning as he throws it over to first. So I don't know if the cycle is more impressive, or the almost cycle, I should say. The 5 hits from Gomez, or the fact that Flaherty has made the third out in the inning 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 times. I don't know why if that's even that rare, but that impresses me. All right, Chris Bassett is going to continue here. They're not going to try and tax their bullpen. They're just going to let Bassett throw it. So Featherston, they're going to pinch hit with Micah Johnson. So Micah Johnson's going to get at bat here, the lefty. Johnson has started a few games at second base, but ever since that walk-off hit for Featherston a few games ago, he's been getting most of the time. Bassett will strike him out. That is a strikeout looking. That's 6 now for Bassett. And Domingo Santana is the batter. He's been aboard 3 times. And it's a 3-9. He strikes out. Boy, what is going on with Bassett? 7 strikeouts now. 2 quickly away in the 9th inning. This is the last chance for New York. They are down by 6 runs. It's a 12-6 ball game. So Alex Gordon will take his licks. He's 0 for 3 on the day. The league leader in homers hasn't been able to get anything going, but he will draw a walk. Detroit fans are ready to go home, or at least turn off the TV, as this one's in New York. But not quite, as Gordon walks, and Valencia will be up to the plate. It's a 1-8. That is a single chance. 1-4, it's a single. That is not. It's hit back to Bassett. Looks a little bit more comfortable this time. He scoops it and underhands it to first. And that'll be the ball game, as the Detroit Torricats, they destroy New York tonight in a final of 12-6. Boy, this was kind of fun. I have not had this many runs in a while, and during those middle innings, it felt like Detroit couldn't make an out. But eventually, New York got some pitching going. From the 5th inning, Detroit didn't score. Trevor Gott and Brian Morris did their job, and they shut down Detroit. Speaking of shutting down, that'll do it for me. I want to say thank you to L Red Sox fan and MP Fox for hanging in there with me tonight. Also, Hammer Time was in here earlier. That was cool. As I said earlier in the video, that I will be at play.con tomorrow and mostly Saturday. So look out for some videos and some live streams from the play.con event. That should be fun. And I will bring you guys along with me and see how much video I can get with and while I'm trying to play games or learn how to play the games. Our next game on the channel, who knows when that'll be. I've kind of I haven't had a whole lot of time at night, but when I can, I will try and finish up this game day 17. As the next game, it'll be the Houston Cast Form in 7th place in the AL, taking on the Minnesota's Wireless, who are in 13th. That's a good pitching matchup, though. We've got Chris Sale going against Jose Quintana, so I look forward to that one. And I thank you guys for following me here tonight. Be sure to check me out on Twitter at RNGIDP_strat. I'll post all the scorecards and we can chat about the games or baseball or whatever. But until this weekend, thank you for tuning in and have a good night.